Mrs. Zell, and Mr. Ling is the cameraman right now.
Hello.
We are filming what you need to know to complete your Alka Seltzer Lab write-up sheet. So first, you need your Alka Seltzer Lab page and a pencil, and right now we're going to complete the materials list. The material you need for this lab is your write-up sheet, a pencil, a timer, 3 half Alka Seltzer tabs, 3 pieces of tissue, and 3 film canisters with 1/4 full of water. Oops, wrong one. 1/4 full of water, 1/3 full, and half full. And that is your materials list.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about how to start your experiment, how to do your hypothesis and procedure. So our essential question here is, how does the amount of water affect the rate of reaction with half an Alka Seltzer tablet? Okay, so your job is to take that statement and turn it into a hypothesis. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think more water is going to make a quicker reaction, or do you think less water will make a slower reaction? However you want to word it. And think about your independent variable and your dependent variable. The independent variable we're changing here is the amount of water. And your dependent variable, what we're measuring, is the time. Okay? So now you can write your hypothesis. So I'm going to go through the procedure with you and show you the exact steps involved, and then you're going to write this down for your procedure. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. What we have here is our 3 vials of water. We've already filled these up. I'm going to start with the half full container. Okay? So this is the half full container of water. What you'll do is you'll take your tissue, place it over the top, put the Alka Seltzer tablet on top. I'm going to move the timer out of the way here, and carefully seal that with the lid without tilting it or causing the water to slosh up there. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over and start timing it right away. You ready? Here we go. And I'm going to step back and move my lab sheet. 7 seconds. Wait for it. Good.
Nice.
15.02. 15.02 seconds. So I'm going to write that on my data table right here. That was the half full. 15.02. Okay. Now we'll do the next one. I'm going to go down to the 3rd full container.
Those 7th graders are loud.
Yes. And we'll do the same exact process now. The only thing I'm changing, and you want to talk about that in your procedure, is the amount of water. That's what I'm changing. All right, we're going to seal that up. I'll start the reaction. Go. And I'm stepping back again. Now we got 15.02 before. We're at 10 right now. 13. 16.
Woo! That was a big pop.
That was a big pop. That was, let's say, a bigger
went
pop.
all the way up
than
here on the
other
floor.
one.
Woo!
So we got 17.88. So I'm going to write that down on our data sheet here. 17.88 for the 3rd full container. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready to do our 1/4 full. And our 1/4 full is right here. We'll slide this guy out of the way. And make sure I've got a dry hand. Same thing. I'm just doing this in one swoop this time. Tissue on top, and Alka Seltzer on top of that. Lid on top of it all. Sealed shut. And here we go. Go. I see bubbles. We're at 13 seconds. 19 seconds. Seems to be taking longer.
Hmm.
I think this might be a bigger pop too. 27 seconds.
I'm closing my eyes.
30. Woo! 32.03.
That was big.
That was quite big.
It might have left a dent in the ceiling.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
luckily it didn't hit the light. So I'm going to
Yes.
put that over here. 32.03. 0.03. All right. So there's our data. And now let's talk about what our next steps would be. So on the back of your lab write-up, you have your graph. And what you want to do to set up your graph, again, we always put your independent variable on the bottom. So we're going to do the amounts of water down here. I'll start with a quarter, a third, and a half. Okay? And you can decide what kind of graph you want to do. On this side here, we're going to put our time, since that's what we measured in seconds. So I'm just going to write that here in seconds. Now, I'm not actually going to do the graph for you because that's your job. So you're going to fill out the graph. Data analysis. Again, you're going to talk about what happened with your data, okay? And draw some comparisons. And there is no control in this experiment. We're only comparing the different amounts of water. So instead of comparing your experiment to the controls, you're comparing each amount of water to each other, okay? And once you've done that, you'll come down and do your conclusion, which again, your conclusion is going to look a lot like your hypothesis, depending on what your hypothesis was, but it's going to be a statement, right? And it has to match the data that you came up with, or that we came up with in this. And then you're going to do your discussion, and that's where you're going to talk about what could we have changed about this experiment to get better results. Or now that we know these things, what do we want to do next? What kind of experiment would be good to answer our question? How does the amount of water affect the reaction time? In all those bullet points we discussed in your discussion. Notes. And then you are done. And is there anything else you want to add, Miss Ezel?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
going to say, hello, I'm going to say you may use your lab journal and all the notes you took on the data analysis, the conclusion, and the discussion. You should have some pretty good notes in your lab journal. Right, Mr. Ling?
That's right.
Okay, so wave goodbye.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching.